You are
What the-
silent. You are silent on the Twitch, and Tim, you sound great.
Wonderful.
You are. Yes.
That's awesome. Next time.
I have no idea.
It's not me.
Go. Hi.
Thanks has been making an announcement of but all of the ridiculous on Steam, and on that note. It was my Opera browser because I was at 97%, and as soon as I just killed my Opera browser, I'm at like 16 now.
Okay, don't use Opera.
Yeah, no, it sounds like that might be a problem. Although I did just jump back up to 30, but either way, that's significantly better than 97.
Did you check to make sure you're set in turbo?
I have it turning on. It's taking its time.
Yeah.
So in that case, I need to find a new browser for when we're talking.
Just use Chrome like a normal human being.
But I like Opera.
Hey,
it's
don't
really
get me wrong.
fucking awesome.
Don't get me wrong. It can be very good, but obviously does not work well podcasting.
And yeah, like I said, I'll just use a different browser.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Okay, so turbo. I am in turbo.
Cool. Okay, so it's just your Opera is bogging the fuck out of your.
Fucked me. Yeah, pretty much entirely. So
Okay.
that's good to know. And that'll save us a lot.
Yay,
of trouble.
progress!
We learned locally. Thank you, Twitch subscribers. For dealing
Jesus
with us.
Christ. All to our patrons who's paying for this, you're welcome for this premium content. Official episodes,
honestly,
Mike says. Jesus.
The way I look at it, I mean, we're still learning even on episode 31. We should just keep it.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah.
We should
fuck it. Yeah.
put a disclaimer in the beginning. Say for the first, what were we at? We're at 12, 13
minutes. Yeah.
Tell everyone that if they really want to skip to the real conversation, jump to 13 minutes.
Yeah. In the words of the guy, I don't remember his name, fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. All right. So, for those of you who only caught one side of the conversation and completely missed everything I said, this will be a shorter episode. Not only because time constraints with our, well, at this point, obviously not, but it was supposed to be. With our constraints, with our hosting, we only have a certain amount of hours per month. We've already done 2 long episodes. This one's short only because, well, not only because, but because of those constraints, as well as news is kind of light right now, where everybody's gearing up for the Game Awards on the 7th, where we'll have a just ridiculous amount of news and blast the fuck out of it. But for now, it's going to be a little bit light. Tim and I had mentioned a great Steam sale, and that was kind of me listing off games, which I'm not going to recount this for everybody on the audio side, but that's what happened. Twitch, YouTube, you're caught up. Okay, that said.
Big sale. So let me suggest something here. I understand this is live, but we're going to suggest something here. We're about 15 minutes in, which means we should be done with one topic. One of those topics was supposed to be Skull and Bones. They released a release window, which they've done like 18 times already. So hey, there's a new one. Next topic.
Yeah. Basically, they said they're aiming for a January to March release of next year. It's the 14th time they've canceled, moved, and well, not canceled, but postponed this game. So, like the day before, take it with a grain of salt. But although day before seems like it's actually coming, so that's a different story. Anyways, topic, game, happening. This is Vigilance 2099. This is a new cyberpunk game. Their specific, I believe their inspiration specifically from their store says that they were
Vigilancer.
You're right. Vigilancer, my bad. I believe if I read correctly, their direct inspiration for this was Blade Runner. They were trying to make something that felt very Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Graphically, it looks very good for being prototype footage, clearly not finished. I'm impressed with what they're showing. Mike sent us this one. It was one of the few good ones he did send, but it's interesting. So what caught me with this one is I love Blade Runner. I love cyberpunk, like just the setting of cyberpunk. It's fucking awesome. And there needs to be more games in it. This game has kind of an interesting premise. So it's on Steam. You can wishlist it right now on Steam. There's not much to say. There's no release windows, nothing like that so far. But the tag off of Steam is basically Vigilancer 2099 is a third-person cyberpunk bounty hunting game set in an isolated mega building. Enter the skin, soul, and mind of your Vigilancer as you fight to stay alive long enough to pay off
Whatever the hell that is.
your bounty, though. So you're a bounty hunter trying to make enough money.
It is a bounty.
Yeah. So they go into a little bit more detail here. Customize your look, cybernetics, and playstyle to best suit your survival tactics. Traverse the densely packed mega building that's a host of all manner of humans, robots, and aliens alike. Take on bounty gigs to earn your credits, and decide whether to spend that money on reducing your outstanding debt or using it to customize yourself further to make navigating the hostile terrain a little bit more bearable. It's a tough world with only two options: buy your life back or die trying. So that's kind of the scope of the game.
It definitely sounds like an interesting game. If you look at the trailer here, it actually looks like it'd easily be a AAA title. There's not a lot to see. I mean, don't get me wrong. He chases a robot thing down. He does a teeny tiny little bit of parkour and then does a little bit of shooting.
Yeah.
But all of it looks pretty darn good. It's not, say, Naughty Dog level of animation quality, but it's still really good ultimately. But the thing that I find most interesting about it is it was announced almost exactly a year ago, December 7th. And we're only just now hearing about it. We, Ms. and me and you.
Right.
But like, I almost pride myself in knowing about all these little things. But I mean, maybe that just goes to show you that there's so much in the industry that obviously you can't keep track of it all.
Yeah.
Like he said, there's going to be cybernetics involved. Like it's pretty much cyberpunk. It's a bounty hunting game, as you already said.
I want to caution you on that. This does not look like it has anywhere near the level of RPG element that Cyberpunk 2077 has. It's cyberpunk in setting for sure. I think there will be, don't get me wrong, there's definitely going to be cybernetics. That's just a staple of like the cyberpunk genre. But I don't think you're going to have the builds the way you have in 2077. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This I can almost say damn you Cyberpunk for choosing the fucking name you did, because it's a genre in and of itself by its very name.
Yeah.
And now you're like, shit, am I talking about the genre or am I talking about the video game?
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean. It's cyberpunk in nature as far as its design.
So to be fair, Cyberpunk 2077 was a tabletop game first. So from now on, moving forward, just to make it easy so I understand what you're referencing, let's just call the game 2077 and just leave Cyberpunk off of it.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it's an open world cyberpunk title, bounty hunting game.
Yeah.
So like maybe it's like Star Wars Bounty Hunter, just modern and
good.
Much prettier. Yeah.
And good. Let's not forget how bad that game was.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never actually played it myself, but I've actually never heard anything negative about it. I've always heard like nostalgic, like joy about it. And because of that, I've always been interested in it. But I've said I've never played it.
So all right. So it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't a good game. Like it felt under polished on its release. The controls felt clunky. I think a lot of nostalgia is what people look back and see. Like same with like the old Spider-Man games where like, oh, Spider-Man, the movie 2 game was like the best Spider-Man swinging ever. Yeah, go back and play that. It's not that great. It's not. So I think nostalgia definitely has a hand in that. But this game, yeah, the moment in this game that made me want to talk about it was at the very end of the trailer here. We do get a little bit of RPG aspect because there's two things. Well, one is more RPG than the other. The other one's just a cool mechanic that games should do more often. He makes that last jump and grabs the edge, and instead of climbing up the edge and then shooting at the guy, he just pulls himself up and shoots over the edge, which is something that should have been in gaming since like PS3 era, but we so rarely see it. I can think of
it has been PS3 era.
But it's
Uncharted.
Sure, but like that's what I mean is it's in a handful of games. It's not a common staple of third-person games that have movement like this. Like for whatever reason, it's just not.
Yeah.
So
There is a very select few amount of games that gives you the freedom to do stuff like that, like
Right.
shoot off of ladders or pull yourself up just a little bit enough to shoot and things like that. It's you're locked to whatever little thing you're doing.
yeah.
So yeah.
And Mike even says it took COD 20 years to implement that. So yeah.
But COD has sucked since. Like what did you say?
Modern Warfare 2. So,
well,
yeah.
In my opinion, it's sucked since Black Ops 2.
Sure. Mine was Modern Warfare 2, but that's just me personally. Then the last thing, the RPG element that we do see in this game.
World at War, not Black Ops 2, World at War.
That was, I remember you mentioning how good that one was. I never did play that one, but I remember you, when we worked at Game Crazy, you mentioned how like limbs are blown off and shit. Like it's over the top.
Yes.
The last bit of the trailer you see, he gets the option to kill the guy for 5,000 credits or spare him for 8,000 credits. So that's kind of cool. It gives you some choice, which could mean choices matter, which could mean like maybe you spare this guy, maybe he helps you later, maybe he fucks you over later. But the fact that you're being a bounty hunter who also has a bounty on his head is pretty fucking cool. So, I don't know. Like I said, there's no date, no other information on when we might even possibly see this game, but it has me interested. Looks like it's running on the Unreal Engine 5. That's the only engine that would make sense for as good as this looks for being an indie game. Developer, who's the developer on this? This is
In something or other, I looked it up.
Invoidant Studios. Invoidant Studios, it's their first game. I'm excited to see where they go. And I will be reaching out to them to let them know we're talking about them. We're interested in their product. And
they have one hell of a long road ahead of them. And
Yeah.
for all we know, it's not going to be out for another 4 years. I mean, because this is literally prototype footage, as it straight up says, which prototype footage, by the way, generally is gameplay slice and not representative of gameplay. So
Right.
everything we're saying is like totally up in the air here. But it is more of a what's the word I'm looking for? It is a target. Like this is what they're hoping
Right.
for in their gameplay, which we have seen in the past. Especially, I think the most egregious example would be Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs showed something that was so amazing. Actually, The Division is another choice.
Yeah.
Look, both of you, Ubisoft. Anyways,
weird. Skull and Bones reference?
right. Is that they both showed something that was clearly shown too early. This is something that should have been stuck strictly behind doors. Anyways, the hope is that they actually get really close to this gameplay expectation, and it ends up turning out good. Vertical slices like this are literally nothing to be like, okay, that's what the game's gonna be.
Yeah. I mean, we've
So
seen it with...
really hold your expectations in check. We need to do that to ourselves as well.
Right.
This looks like a solid product to aim for, and I really hope that Invoidant Studios manages to make this a reality because it looks like something special.
Well, and I think a lot of that now is getting easier because again, Unreal Engine 5 is making a lot of that easier. I mean, you have have native ray tracing support. You have there's a lot to it that like I think we're getting closer to the point where our vertical slices are getting to a point where they're looking more like the product when they're in the hands of people who know what they're doing. I'm gonna just preface it that.
Well, not even just that, which I believe this was actually a feature with Unreal Engine 4, let alone 5. But basically, they're able to literally develop, say, whatever feature it may be. It could be the first-person shooting element. It could be the lighting element. Doesn't matter what it is. They can implement some new feature, period, and they can just go, what does this look like in game? And swap straight over to gameplay mode.
Yeah.
And so, like you just said, this allows them to test what they're making on the fly rather than making it a playable mode, way down the line. And so vertical slices essentially can be gameplays.
Yeah.
Gameplay trailers.
I will mention, I just saw something at the end of the trailer there that I missed before. It's coming to Kickstarter soon. So they have a little tag there that says it's going to Kickstarter. So if you're one of those people that like pitching in and helping in crowdfunding, first of all, why aren't you helping us on Patreon? Secondly, this game will be going to Kickstarter.
We got our second subscriber this week.
We sure did. Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Yep. God damn it, Tim. You do that every time. His name is Tony. And way to dox the man on the podcast. God
Tony,
damn it.
I love you.
Oh my god!
I don't know
can't
why.
believe
Tom
you-
Stick.
I-
Maybe because my name is Tim and Tom is so much easier for me to remember. I'm gonna keep calling you Tom. Tom, I love
Please
you.
don't. Please don't. That's just. God damn it, Tim. I'm embarrassed for you. That's okay. Just
Thankfully, because I'm not.
anyways, thanks for doxing our Patreon member on our podcast, Tim.
Our name is not shit.
But it is coming to Kickstarter
He
at
lives
some
on
point.
1, 2, 3. Fuck you, drive.
All right. Mike just typed it out in chat with one letter per line. Tony. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh my god, you kill me, Tim.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
So
I love you, Tom.
we need that on a shirt. We need that on a fucking shirt.
Yes, we do.
We need that on a fucking shirt. Oh man.
It's gonna say I love you, Tom, in
And
the
then
front and in the back. It's gonna say TONY. What on top?
Yep. I like that. Just down the spine.
Oh, wait,
TONY.
and then underneath it's gonna say Tim's a dumbass.
Yep. Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm crying over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Video games. That's
Video
what we're
games.
talking about, right?
It's coming to Kickstarter soon. If you like backing video games, projects that look cool, and this looks cool to you, hopefully there's a link somewhere soon. I'm sure they have a Discord like most indie studios do. You can sign up there and follow them on Discord. I follow a lot of devs on Discord now because it's a good place to engage with them and find out about the game before you get stupid articles like the one, was it The Gamer that wrote the article about fucking...
Oh, good lord. I want to say it was like a VG gamer. Or
I don't remember who
like
the fuck
that,
it
but
was.
yeah,
Somebody
that's exactly
wrote
what you're
an
talking
article
about.
about the day before asking if it had multiplayer. Does an MMO have multiplayer? God, dude, I swear to God, some of these companies are setting the bar so low we'd fucking trip on it if we started writing again.
Bro. Yeah. I mean, so I don't want to toot our own horn here.
What?
Yeah, it caught my attention too. I don't want to. Maybe I've had too much to drink. I don't want to toot our own horn here. But before we quit back in 2019, yeah, it was 19. We were on track. We were on track to hit near 2 million views, and so as he's stating here, it seems like the bar has only dropped since then, and it's like really frustrating.
Yeah,
it's really not that hard to do a little bit of research, and it's probably not due to ignorance or stupidity or anything of that sort.
No, I don't think that's
it. It's literally intended to engage the morons. And I'm sorry, but I put more trust in the general populace. Sure, there's a lot of dumb people out there, but like that's not something that needs pandering to, in my opinion.
I agree.
You shouldn't pander to retards or whatever word you might use, or just pander in general. You should just talk the damn truth. Just they could have easily written an article that stated, "Hey, this game is finally coming out soon."
Yeah.
Yes, it is a multiplayer MMO. Blah blah blah. Instead of asking,
so I can understand.
Like, you know what I mean?
I can understand why the article was labeled that from an SEO perspective. I understand why that was their title, but it's so predatory that I fucking hate it. Like, because the first thing people are going to do who are not familiar with MMOs, who are interested in the day before, does the day before have multiplayer? That's going into Google. Somebody's writing it. Somebody is. So of course. I mean, but it's just such a like low hanging fruit, guys. Like, do better. You're writing. Do better. That's all I got to say. Anyways,
I mean, I just did a quick Google search, or not a Google search, Google type, and then allow the thing to finish it for me. Does the day before. The first two options are have a story mode and have a campaign, and then there's test, real game, fake, blah blah blah, and multiplayer is like the 9th option. No, so like,
they definitely could have done something better.
It is obviously an option. Yeah, but so they could have, they could have at the very least had a little bit of trust in the general populace for video games, especially because the majority of people that are online that are looking at video games know this type of general information. And sure, there's going to be a few people that don't, but those are going to be the minimal few.
Right.
It's a perfect example when you look at most video games that are popular, or even that are not. Like just look at, say, Call of Duty as an example. The vast majority of people that are angry with Modern Warfare 3 are the extreme minority, and the majority of people are still going to buy it anyway. And that's sure, the game is actually the Modern Warfare 3 is actually doing worse than previous entries, but it's still selling them millions of copies. So Activision and Microsoft are still laughing to the bank.
Yeah.
But that's my point.
Well,
is that the majority of the vocal people are the minority.
Yeah.
And therefore, articles like that does nothing but pander to very few people, and it makes the reviewer, the article, the website, whatever, it makes them look. How do I put this in a decent way? It makes them look like they're intentionally trying to be a shitty website or person to trust or whatever. Like, and that way you can go, cool, I can put them on my block list.
Yeah. So back on track.
That's just
Thanks for the rant. I agree, Tim. I do. We did get pretty far off the rails there, but yeah, I mean, it's have more respect for your community than to assume that they're all morons, I think is the bottom line here. Is the moral of the story. But that's
fair enough.
That's the way it is nowadays. Vigilancer 2099 looks cool to me, man. I'm really, really excited to check it out. I hope we get some kind of, I don't know, maybe some more gameplay, something soon. But with indies, this game could be, like you said, another 4 years out. It's hard to say. Hopefully it's closer than that. But that's that. So I want to talk about, and Twitch and YouTube kind of ignore the video in the bottom right corner. This has some of the worst marketing I've ever. Yeah, I do. This has some of the worst marketing videos I've ever seen for this, but I want to talk about this.
In the early 90s? Good
Yeah,
Lord.
no, it's not great. Their trailers, seriously, they're trash. So last week we talked about Assassin's Creed Nexus and how awesome that is, right?
Yeah.
Well,
and just how amazing VR can be.
Well, as a busy dad and a gamer, I've often thought like, hey, why isn't there something that's a real workout? Something that actually works that's VR? Well, there is. And I found it recently. And I've done a decent amount of research on this. And a lot of people say it works really well. And let me tell you, I've been doing it for the week and it works stupidly well. So this is called Supernatural VR. And immediately I know
he still has that dad bod.
I've only been doing it for a week. Calm down. Give me at least 4. We'll see where I'm at in 4. Stupid name, first of all. This app has the dumbest name for a workout app I've ever heard. Because the first thing I think is, oh shit, what are the Winchester boys getting up to in VR? Like, just everybody knows what Supernatural is. This was a bad choice. Don't hold the name against them. This is an app that's exclusive to Quest. It's a meta app. Yep. So it's a meta app, unfortunately. But if you have a meta, this is definitely, and you like working out or you want to learn something new, you don't have time, this is a good fit. So it is a workout app that has kind of a couple of different modes. The only one that's really worth a damn, in my opinion, is the boxing. It's got like a flow mode, which honestly is not very different than Beat Saber. If you play Beat Saber, it's basically the same thing.
I was about to say, what about the Beat Saber mode? Because
it's basically Beat Saber with a coach telling you like, "Hey, good job."
Nice on.
Don't fuck around.
I mean,
don't bother with it.
I mean, Beat Saber's fun as shit. How can it not be fun in this?
So here's why it's not fun in this. Beat Saber is a one-time purchase. This is a subscription. So this is $10 a month. Well, hold on. It's $10 a month. So it's designed to be an actual workout. This is legit. Their thought process here is. Go ahead.
But for $10 a month, I could just go to Planet Fitness and get a legitimate workout on.
See, that's where you're wrong right there. You went legitimate workout. Let me tell you, the shadow boxing in this is no fucking joke. On average,
I was speaking more specifically with the.
Oh yeah, with the flow. Yeah. Don't. It's not. Just don't even click it. Just ignore it exists and focus on the boxing. Don't waste your time with Flow. Flow
Which
is
don't show in this trailer. by the
yeah, and I couldn't find like a trailer from them where they actually talk about it, so I'm just like, fucking whatever. The boxing in this is really great. First of all, you're learning a skill. You're learning a way to defend yourself, and you're honing that skill. Because I'm not going to lie, this is a real workout. You throw real punches, and if anything, in my opinion, and I'm not a boxer, so if there are boxers out there listening to this, tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. You're swinging through the punch all the way because you're not colliding with anything. So when you go to punch, everything that I've been told in boxing is punch like you're trying to hit the back of the guy's head.
In all martial arts, if you're doing it appropriately, you always punch for behind whatever it is you're trying to hit.
And because
you
there's
you don't want to draw or pull your punch too soon. You always essentially pretend that the person's not there.
Right. And because you're not actually hitting a physical target, you're hitting it in VR, you're not pulling that punch, you're going all the way through. So in my opinion, it's a bonus. Now, second big bonus that this has over something like Beat Saber, which is why the flow mode is still fun, but it is still a workout, but it's not Beat Saber. They actually have licensed music. So Beat Saber has some, but unless you mod it, you don't get like anywhere near as much as you should. So let me tell you, did a couple of workouts, and then I think it was Tuesday. It was my second or third time doing it. I do like one session. It's 16 to 18 minutes is what I do. They have a whole shit ton of them, right? There's a ton of different workouts, different intensities from low, high to low, medium, high, different coaches. They take the Peloton approach of like having a coach that like goes through the workout with you, which at first I was like, this is a little corny, little cheesy. But the further I got into it, the more I started doing it. I don't know if they're just really well timed, if they've got some AI on the recorded tracks to track some things, because I found myself at times like losing up on my form, and then almost immediately they'd call it. So like when I'm in South Paw or in North Paw, you're supposed to point your toe towards kind of like the portal where the targets are coming to you. And I found myself, because I was rotating a lot, I found myself kind of squared up. And the fucking coach over the headset's like, hey, make sure you got that toe pointed. Make sure you're not squared up. And I'm like, oh shit, I am. Like, let me fix that.
But how does it, you don't obviously have a sensor on your foot. So how does it know that?
So that's the thing, right? So when I was doing one of the workouts, it's like, hey, we're going to introduce knee strikes. And me being the dumbass I am, I'm like, how? Oh yeah, there's cameras on the exterior of the headset. Of course you can track knee strikes. So that's the only thing I can think.
Just like the PlayStation headset where there's cameras all around the whole damn headset. So it tracks knee strikes too. And that threw me away because I'm like, I'm going to do some shadow boxing. And like, we're going to go over knee strikes. I'm like, fucking excuse me? What? How? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I'm not holding a controller on my knees.
Yeah. So that threw me off, but it was cool. The workout I did that had the knee strikes was fucking dope, dude. It started off with Master of Puppets by Metallica. Went into Patera song, I think it was Walk. I can't remember what it was called. Something like that. Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
I hate to get off topic here, although this is sort of on topic, is how exactly does a game like this that's like a no-name game have all of these licensed songs, but fucking Beat Saber, which has sold millions of copies? Yeah.
So Beat Saber does now. It had some expansion packs that got like Imagine Dragons and Linkin Park and Green Day and a couple others. But this is funded by Meta themselves. This is a Meta exclusive. So we're talking Facebook money. Yeah. We're talking Facebook money. On top of that, like I said, it is a subscription, so you're getting $10, giving $10 a month towards this. So I'm sure part of that is going royalties, would be my guess.
Yeah.
But like, this is no joke of workout, dude. When I did this, the first day I did this, I think my Garmin tracked me at burning like 1,200 calories in 16 minutes. I felt it in my body. Like my shoulders were sore. I was soaked in sweat. It was a good workout. And from the research that I've done, some people have actually done this. There's a guy on YouTube. I didn't grab his name, but he has a video. If you look up Supernatural VR, you'll find it. He lost 20 pounds doing this. Just doing this, and dieting, of course, as well, because, how we look is 80% what we eat, 10% hormone health, 10% your exercise, right? So like your diet is still important.
Oh yeah. I mean, not to get off tangent or off topic here, although it is in topic, is Diet's important. I'll
Yeah.
just leave it there. I was gonna give you. I was gonna go off on a tangent, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But what I can give is a tiny little bit of context, is which you might have the exact same experience as me. When I was in military basic training, there was a time where the whole flight got in trouble, and our TI was fucking angry at us. So we went into our day room, which is a small little room. Imagine barely big enough to hold the 50 of us. And we were working out in our winter gear in the summer.
Yep. Yep.
And our RTI had us doing push-ups, sit-ups, etc. And it came to a time where after we worked out for 15, 20 minutes, whatever it was, we then started to lift imaginary weights. And he basically told us, start with 10 pounds. Start with nothing. You're going up and down, no problem. And then he just started like, imagine you're holding 100 pounds, a little bit more effort, going. And then 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. Just pretend you're lifting a fuck ton of weight. And good God, that was a fucking workout. The walls were sweating.
Yeah.
Is the best way to put it out. But that's how much of a workout it was. It was a fake workout, lifting literally nothing. And the walls were sweating, that's how much we were working out. And to put in perspective with VR is you're actually throwing punches, you're doing these things. And like the workout is real, even though kind of it feels like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it goes beyond that for me too. I'm learning a skill here, right? Like I am learning boxing. I am learning how to properly guard, how to properly throw uppercuts, how to properly duck and weave, how to hit those hooks, how to hit those jabs. Like you are learning an actual skill while you're doing it. It's not just Beat Saber, having fun, swinging, getting into the rhythm. You're learning how to box with this, which is also just an added benefit in my opinion. This is basically like, I'm not going to discount coaches because there are amazing real life coaches, not saying that the people in this aren't, but like I'm not going to discount going and taking boxing lessons, but this is pretty damn close to going and taking boxing lessons. Like,
and $10 a month, that's
pretty reasonable. So on top of all of that, right, this eliminates, my gym is down the street, like literally less than a mile away from my house. I run there in summers and then run home. This is still preferable in my opinion because it doesn't matter. I don't have to change and go to the gym and then come home. I just get home, slap on my gear, strap on my headset, 20 minutes and I'm done flat. I don't then have to get in my car, clean shit up. There's no equipment for me to clean up. I'm done. I just get changed, jump in the shower real quick. It fits into a busy lifestyle so ridiculously well that if you have an Oculus, honestly, if you have an Oculus, message me on Discord. I have free 30-day trials for this. I have 4 of them. If you want to check it out, message me. What's up?
Nothing. I was just going to say you ruined a joke that I was going to give.
Sorry.
I was going to joke. I was joking to say, you don't have to take a shower. You just go to work, whatever.
Yeah, it's not quite that level, but it's nice because it fits into that. Like one of my struggles is I love going to the gym. I genuinely love lifting weights. I miss it, but I don't have the time in my day-to-day life anymore to fit it in. I can fit this in. I can find 16 minutes to slap this headset on and go. And it's fantastic for that. I can't praise it enough for how good it is. Honestly, if you have a Quest, check it out.
So can I redact you buying the Ultimate Edition of Ashes of Creation and buying me a Meta Quest so I can join you? Or do I still have to stick with you buying me the or Ashes of Creation?
I never agreed to either of those, first of all. I do have a Quest 2 I'm selling. And this is on the Quest 2 as well as the 3. Anybody out there who doesn't have a Quest 2 or a Quest 3, if you can't afford the Quest 3, Quest 2 is a great headset. But if you can budget and you can make it to the Quest 3, it is such a significant jump in quality of the optics. It is worth every single penny to go from the 2 to the 3. Every single one of them. It's a damn good headset. I know a lot of people don't like Meta because of the Facebook shit. I get it, but like, man, if you think you got privacy and you're on Facebook, Instagram, X, any of those, you're fooling yourself. So this headset's really no different.
If you have any sort of device that connects to the internet, you don't have privacy.
Yeah,
but I'm still stuck on the fact that we're in a democracy, and both me and Mike said that you're going to buy us a copy of Ashes of Creation. I don't know, 2 against 1. I mean, mob rules, right?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this early and run. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to touch on that. We didn't have a lot of big topics for tonight. I didn't want to make this a main one, but it's a good app, man. I'm thoroughly impressed, and I'm excited to see where I go with this in 4 months, because I'm doing this 5 days a week. This is Monday to Friday.
Damn.
Because I can fit it in. I can do it. It's not hard. It's enjoyable. I actually get to the end and I'm like, man, I'm winded, but I want to go again. And I'm just like, that's a bad idea because I already hurt. So
I'll put it this way: if you lose your dad bod, I don't even know if you have one. I'm just
a little bit. Definitely a little bit.
In that case, if you shape up, then maybe I'll consider it, even though I don't.
So
maybe I'll consider it, because I've always wanted to get into the workout scene, but I can't do it by myself. Maybe this would let me. I don't know.
Dude, this is great. So Chris has a headset. He is on my like friends list. I sent him a 30-day trial, and it like you can track each other and you can see what workouts I've done. There's points, so you can make it competitive. You can make it, yeah. And that's one way that like me and a buddy of mine from back home really got into working out, is like, yo, I just threw this up. What you got? Oh, I did this. What do you? So it helps accountability. It helps the drive. It helps all that. So I'm going to go on record right now. It is November 25th, 2024. I weigh 238 pounds. You're right. I keep doing that. 2023. I weigh 238 pounds and am roughly 24% body fat, according to my scale, give or take. That's where I'm at.
What's the healthy body weight?
Dude, I don't pay attention to BMI at all, because it doesn't account. It doesn't account for muscle at all. So I don't even pay attention to that. Yeah. My goal is 200 pounds and less than 15% body fat. That's my goal. Can I get there with this? I don't know. We're going to find out. I eat fairly healthy. I'm going to continue to eat more healthy, and I'm going to continue to do this. And I'll let you know where I'm at in 4 weeks, and we'll see where I'm at. But
what's the goal, like timeline, I guess? When do you want to be at that?
I mean, as soon as possible, but like it's not realistic. Like ideally, I don't have a goal so much as that is the goal. Like the timeline to me isn't as important. It's just a matter of like, if I'm continuing to make progress, I'm feeling good. That's all. Like
fair enough.
A lot of the like intermittent fasting and stuff that I've looked at projects like, hey, you do these things, you'll be there by March. I think if I stick strict to this, if I stay strict on my eating, I think probably by June I could be about where I want to be. So,
well, I'm going to throw in this little bit of health knowledge for you, because my wife's had a whole bunch of fucking health issues. Intermittent fasting, super fucking good, but you got to stick to it. And it's much better and more effective if you have a longer period of time you don't eat.
Yeah.
So like
I'm not
16 hours of not eating.
Yeah, I'm not actually doing intermittent fasting, and that's just one of the things I was looking at. But yeah, any rate, at the end of the day, man, video games. We're getting to a point with VR where like
it's becoming mainstream enough in quality wise.
Yeah, this is such a fun way to work out. If you don't like working out, just check it out. Hit us up in Discord. I will send you a free 30-day trial. No questions asked. I got 4 of them. Come join the Discord and check it out. Come over to Patreon at patreon.com/coindroppod and check out our exclusive content there. Maybe I'll upload some videos of my workouts there. I don't know. We'll see.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much all I got today. Tim, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap?
I have a few thoughts on a few various different things. Nothing is major important. But right now, the only one that's sticking with me is Hogwarts Legacy. Phenomenal game. Don't care what you think about the author. Don't buy it on Switch. It's a phenomenal game, regardless of the fact of what you think about her. Just don't buy it on Switch. It's, good Lord, terrible. Digital Foundry, I have to mention it, right? Lords of the Fallen is on sale. I don't know why I said that, because I'm looking at the title on Steam. I am rambling. I'm done.
All right, I guess I should just throw Tenchu in there. You said Digital Foundry, so there's our contractual obligation met for the night. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope the supernatural talk wasn't too boring for you guys who don't give a shit about fitness. But
yeah, right.
I'm sorry. News was light, and that's the episode for tonight. So tell your mom I said hi.
And your sister.
Catch you later.